Sir, you have no authority for what you're about to state because what you're about to state is incorrect. That's not the way it works. You don't get to make the rules.
I'm not.
I'm ordering a competency.
It's against my religion to adhere or to assimilate to any statutory.
As it stands right now, this proceeding is not on indigenous land.
Well, that's a matter of perspective, sir.
It is. And the only perspective that's going to matter on that is mine. Young man, you're going to figure out something. We're playing by my rules, not yours. So you know, do not say anything because you're going to figure that out real soon. I said,
All right, guys. Today we've got Judge Simpson going head-to-head with a classic sovereign citizen. And let me tell you, it gets wild. This guy pulls out every trick in the sovereign citizen playbook, desperately scrambling for any excuse to dodge responsibility. But Judge Simpson? Not having any of it. The tension escalates fast, and things get seriously heated in the courtroom. As you're watching, let me know what you think. Is this guy genuinely unstable, or is he just playing a role to try and escape the consequences? Let's dive in and see how this showdown between Judge Simpson and the sovereign citizen kicks off.
The executor of the Tariq Maritari Kade Living Trust and the registered owner of the Tariq Maritari Kade Ex Relatione Kindaman Wilson Estate.
right. So you are appearing here without an attorney. I do have to advise you that you are charged with the offense of fleeing and eluding in the third degree under the Motor Vehicle Code. That is a felony punishable by up to 5 years incarceration and or $1,000 fine plus court costs. Additionally, the Secretary of State could suspend your driving privileges for up to a year. Do you understand that, sir?
I comprehend.
Do you understand?
I comprehend, yes.
The court has to further advise you that if you wish to be represented by counsel, the court would ensure that counsel would be appointed to represent you in this matter, and that you would have counsel if you could not afford to hire counsel yourself. I also wish to advise you that the court would be treating you the same as it would the people in this case. There are certain dangers to representing yourself in this matter, in that you will be required to abide by the Michigan court rules, the Michigan rules of evidence, and all of the cases and statutory requirements. You understand that?
I do not.
You do not. What is it about that that you do not understand?
It's against my religion to adhere or to assimilate to any statutory.
Sir, I'm not asking anything about your religion. It is irrelevant to me. I am indicating that in this proceeding, you will be required to abide by the rules of this court. Do you understand that?
I'm having a hard time understanding why or how religion doesn't play a role.
How what?
How religion does not play a role.
Religion does not play a role in what I do or what this court does. There are certain rules of this court established by the legislature and the Michigan Supreme Court regarding how these particular proceedings will be conducted. These proceedings will be conducted in accord with those rules. Do you understand that, sir?
Well, according to the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, as well as the international or the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the state and the government should.
Sir, you have no authority for what you're about to state because what you're about to state is.
This is exactly why I love Judge Simpson. He's a no-nonsense judge who doesn't tolerate a single second of sovereign citizen nonsense. And honestly, we need way more judges like him. Half the judges I cover on this channel are way too soft on these people, and it's frustrating to watch. These sovereign citizens genuinely think they can talk their way out of anything, but this guy? He doesn't even understand what he's saying. He's just reciting a script in his head, grasping at straws, hoping something magically gets his case dismissed. It's wild how far they'll go to avoid accountability. It's like they've never even heard of the law. Honestly, I blame the schools. They don't teach basic civics or how the legal system actually works. But here's the thing. The U.S. legal system is based on facts and laws, not this made-up nonsense about sovereign immunity and imaginary authority loopholes. I get that most of these guys are harmless and more laughable than dangerous, but should we start taking sovereign citizens more seriously? Or just keep watching the circus unfold? Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Sir, what you're about to state is incorrect.
Well,
If you were on indigenous lands, if that's where you're going, then maybe you might be right. As it stands right now, this proceeding is not on indigenous land.
well, that's a matter of perspective, sir.
It is, and the only perspective that's going to matter on that is mine. We are not on indigenous lands subject to indigenous or tribal rules.
Is
You
there a
are
law?
subject to the rules of the Michigan Supreme Court as they are promulgated, both in terms of procedure and evidence. Do you understand that that's what's happening, sir?
I do not.
What is it that you do not understand?
I don't understand.
Because I'm going to tell you something, sir. If you are unable to establish or understand what I'm saying, and go through this with you again, I have to assume that there may be some reason why you don't understand. This court will take precautions to protect your rights, and I will be sending you for a competency evaluation to make sure that you are competent to stand trial and to stand in these proceedings.
Well, I would agree to a competency if the prosecution as well as the court and the officers agree to take a competency.
That's not the way it works. You don't get to make the rules.
I'm not.
I'm ordering a competency.
I'm not making.
Defendant is ordered for a forensic evaluation. I will set a competency hearing in this matter for July 25th, 2024. At what time? At 9 a.m. Now, sir, I'm going to ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Because it's going to depend on where you may be staying for a period of time. If they send you information as to when you have your forensic interview,
Yes, sir.
are you going to cooperate and attend that interview?
Under threat, duress, and coercion, yes.
Pardon?
Under threat, duress, and coercion, yes.
No.
I can literally feel Judge Simpson on the verge of exploding right now. I've seen him lose his patience before, and trust me, this is dangerously close to a contempt charge. You can see it in his eyes. He's trying to stay composed, but this sovereign citizen is pushing all the wrong buttons. Honestly, I think this guy must have had paint for lunch, because I'm losing brain cells just listening to him. He's so far out of his depth, and it's painfully obvious. Meanwhile, the judge is just sitting there, waiting for the perfect moment to bring the hammer down. This guy seriously needs to watch his mouth before Judge Simpson sends him straight to jail. Let's dive back in and see if he keeps testing his luck.
I'm asking you, are you voluntarily going to cooperate?
I say yes.
Pardon?
I mean, yeah. I mean, is this what are, excuse me, what are you relaying to in regard? What are you insinuating in regards to where I will stay for a time?
I'm going to make sure that we are going to have our forensic interview done. I've ordered a forensic interview. I am asking you whether or not, when given notice of that interview, whether or not you are going to voluntarily cooperate in that interview.
I will take the interview.
Excuse me?
I will take the interview.
Anything from the people?
With the court, ask the people to prepare the order for the competency.
Yes, please prepare the order for that. Is that your address, sir?
Excuse me? That's correct.
All right. All right, very good.
And so I will send a copy to that address.
Very good. All right. This time then bond is continued.
Yes, sir. And I'm sorry, can I get that date again, please, sir? If I can put it in my calendar.
July 25th, you were supposed to, so I'm assuming you're waiving it. You were supposed to file your motion with.
I
the
did,
court.
I filed it.
When did you file it?
I brought it in today.
Do we have it?
I gave it, I mean, it was stamped and everything. I gave it to the reception.
Why didn't you file it before today?
Well, as I stated at the last hearing,
No, don't go through what you
additional week.
stated at the last hearing.
Well, you
You
asked.
knew that, no, you knew it was supposed to be filed before the day. Young man, you're gonna
That's it.
figure out something. We're playing by my rules, not yours. So you do not say anything because you're gonna figure that out real soon. Do they have it?
I have not received a response yet.
Since I'm sending in for a competency, I can't hear that. I can't hear his motion in any event. So I won't hear his motion at this time. He'll have to refile it timely if he's determined to be competent. So I'll have his bond continue. He can go. What?
I didn't get the last part that you said. The bond continued and what?
I said you can go.
Oh, okay, no problem.
I actually posted the second half of this hearing a while back, so if you want to see how this disaster wraps up, make sure to check that out. But seriously, if Judge Simpson ever gave me the death stare after asking even one of the ridiculous questions this guy threw out, I'd be rethinking my entire life. I'd be shaking in my boots, no question. These sovereign citizens? They've got a massive ego problem. I honestly think some of them know they're wrong. They're just too proud to admit it. Sure, there are a few who actually buy into this fantasy legal theory, but guys like the one we just watched? It's all pride. They can't admit when they're clearly, blatantly out of line. And let's talk about accountability for a second. Judge Simpson is out here doing exactly what the legal system is supposed to do, holding people accountable and keeping the courtroom in order. I wish more judges were like him. Way too many are just way too soft, especially when dealing with sovereign citizen nonsense. We need more judges who are willing to drop the hammer and shut this stuff down. Honestly, imagine if we could just ship all these sovereign citizens to an island, or even a jail, where they can't clog up the courts anymore. The system would work a lot better. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought about this hearing. Personally, I found it pretty entertaining, though this guy's argument was the usual recycled sovereign citizen nonsense. At this point, we've seen it all. Still, it's ridiculous how they keep backing up the courts with this junk. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I post new content every single day. Appreciate you all for watching. Take care.